How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. A little bit of collab hopeful goodness in the form of Imprint Brewings along with Abomination Brewing. It's their All the Rage. They call it a Kolsch, but down here it says dry hopped with summer. So you got a little bit of a unique twist on it. Your American twist, like a lot of breweries like to do with Kolsch's. Imprint, I've had a couple of their beers. I've had some sent to me. I have friends give me a couple. I've actually visited the brewery. And I dig their stuff, but most of it has been bigger beers, whether it be kind of like fruited sours or big hazy, stuff like that. Abomination Brewing, much the same. They're more of a kind of like a home brewer trying to make good kind of deal. They've been doing a lot of like Josh at Abomination and his partner, I believe he has a partner now. They've been doing a lot of like collaboration stuff at Pennsylvania breweries, and they kind of hooked up with that 12% beer project, whether they take like small breweries and whatnot and brewers and kind of let them brew on a kind of bigger system. They've been doing a lot of collabs and stuff like that, so it'd be cool because what they've done mostly, or what I've had from them, let's put it that way, has been kind of adjuncty kind of stouts and IPAs. So to see them both kind of buckle down with, albeit an extra hopped Kolsch, it's still kind of fun because Kolsch's are tiny, so they're not big beers. So let's just dive into this sucker, see what she's got. This comes courtesy of my boy Keith. He was actually down at Imprint Brewing. He moved out Pennsylvania way not too long ago, so he's been ensconced in those kind of Pennsylvania jams as of late, which does not suck for me. So what does it look like? I mean, it's a bit hazier than a Kolsch. I mean, Kolsch's can have a little bit of soft haze to it, so it's not like it's totally outside of the realm of normal Kolschism, although it is probably a little bit hazier than you usually used to when it comes to a Kolsch. Rich orange in color, looks more like a pale ale than anything else, and just a very tight, compact bubble head on it. Really not much as far as the head goes. So, sitting in a nose. I mean, there's like a soft, like non-acidic, non-bittering kind of orange vibe to it. I'm going to go citrus, it's just straight kind of orange, but it's very, very light. Not really getting much as far as sweetness out of it, not really getting much as far as bittering out of it. There's just a very, very soft kind of waft of soft orange, and that is it. Done and done. Yeah, really kind of very, very muted on the nose. When you're talking about an extra hopped, dry hopped beer, you expect a bit more aromatics out of it. You're not really getting it here, but then at the same time, you're talking about a Kolsch. You're usually expecting a whole bunch out of a Kolsch. So let's dive in, see what she's got. Cheers. Yeah, that orange comes through. It is a bit more acidic. A bit more kind of, definitely like a fresh squeeze kind of orange. So you get that spritzy acidity thing. Like if you ever kind of peeled into an orange and get that spritz in your face. It's not as vibrant like orange flavoring wise, but you definitely get the kind of acidic, kind of citric acid from it. So it definitely gets a little bit more citrus on a nose or in the taste than the actual citrus in the actual nose. It's more just a kind of generic orange. There's a soft, delicate, yet slightly creamy kind of mouthfeel to it. It definitely comes off way more kind of like extra hopped pale ale to me than Kolsch. You know, is what it is. I mean, Kolsch's are kind of just, given a lager treatment without the lager kind of yeast. More times than not, that's the case. So you are getting a little bit of more of a crisper, cleaner kind of vibe out of it, but it really just comes as an aggressive hopped pale ale. And it's nice. It's not too bad. Did I actually read the ABV on this? 5.8%, right there in the middle, in your Double Dare style can. Which actually, I kind of dig that can. Most of Abomination stuff, not the biggest fan of. Imprint stuff can be hit or miss, but this one kind of, I don't know, tugs at my heartstrings, being that it's kind of just reminds me of Double Dare for some weird reason. But yeah, it has this kind of like old school kind of pale ale with a new hot treatment. It's clean, it's well made, there's not much as far as negative to it. It's honestly a chugger. The biggest knock I would put against this is one, when you're talking about an extra hopped, a dry hopped edition, lower ABV beer, you want a little bit more expressive hops in there. This is my first foray into summer, so I'm not sure how summer expresses itself. So it might be just kind of on point for what that hop is, but I'd like that to be a little bit more vibrant. And 5.8%. You're almost at 6%, so it's a little bit higher ABV even for a Kolsch. I want this to be sub 5% because that's how it drinks. That's how it wants to be. So this is more of kind of pale ale versioning into kind of an IPA. If you name it that, it comes off a little bit more muted than you'd expect. But if you talk about a Kolsch that has an extra hop addition, your brain kind of makes you go, okay, I can kind of get that. But it's a nice beer, well-made beer. Nothing negative in it whatsoever. I just, either call it a pale ale or low or IPA and live with that, or just kind of knock those ABVs down, and bring me a lower ABV jam. But that's just me. That's just me wanting my cake and eat it too. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better extra hopped Americanized Kolsches that I've had as of late. It's still up there, man. I mean, I haven't had one in a while. There's been some really killer ones out there. When I talk about Americanized Kolsches, I talk about these kind of aggressively hopped Kolsches that don't really resemble Kolsches all that much. Come to mind, just Vlet from Threes really comes to mind, but I know a couple different breweries have done them, so it's definitely worthy of being in a conversation. Value availability, no idea. My buddy Keith gave it to me, so take that for what it's worth. Distribution-wise, I think a little bit of Imprint floats out there, but who knows? And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like pale ales that are aggressively hopped and you like a soft citrus kind of vibe to them, or if you don't really like Kolsches, but you want Kolsches to taste more like pale ales, you like this. It's a fun beer. It's a nice beer. It's a well-made beer. And if you're definitely leaning heavily orange, citrus, with a little bit of acidic pop in your lower ABV hazies, this'll do you proper. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little, little Kolsch jammer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.